guys, this is just a little bonus to the video, the process video today. I'm really excited that I have over 700 subscribers to my channel, and I have over 700 views on a couple of my videos. And so just to celebrate that, I am going to be doing a giveaway, and the details of the giveaway will be at the end of this video. So check it out and go ahead and enter the contest. So now we'll just have the rest of the process video. Hey guys, it's Mari and welcome back to another 12 by 12 scrapbooking process video on my channel, and thanks for watching today. And I'm just going to be scrapping a picture of Miss B when she was probably about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4, and I just really love this picture of her with that orange in her mouth and just showing off her ability to make everybody laugh, that's for sure. So I'm going to be working with a variety of different patterned papers on this layout, and not really using any mixed media at all, but I'm just showing you the different papers that I'm going to be using there. So the top 2/3 of the layout is going to be that gray and white polka dot paper, which is Brunch by Citrus Bliss, and the Sunshine paper by it's from the Summertime collection from October Afternoon, and that's that chevron multicolored paper there of that little strip that's going to be in the center. And then that the graph grid paper that's going to be on the bottom there is from the Sienna collection from Ellie's Studio. So I just showed you there the pencil marks on the gray paper where I had marked off, just making sure that my layout's actually going to be 12 by 12 when I put all of those, or when I put those two larger chunks of paper together. And I'm just trying to create that a little bit of a horizontal interest across the center of the paper, just to try to create a place where I'm going to be basing that, or situating that photo layer, and so giving it a nice stable grounding in a horizontal way there in the middle. So that pink paper that I'm just sticking down there is from, I think that's Sandcastles from the Summer Sun collection from Fancy Pants, and I love that paper. It's so nice, and it's got quite a nice neat little texture to it. So there I'm just showing you that that gray paper is really what that has formed, is the top 2/3, and then just providing a spot for putting some layers on top, and then getting that, now starting to get the photo mat layer ready to go here. So once again, that the paper with the white background with the triangles on it, that's the Sandcastle Summer Sun collection from Fancy Pants. Now I'm just going to take my Tim Holtz tool, and I'm going to add some of that Avery L ink that we got in one of our color kits in the last couple of months with our hip kit. And in fact, most of the products that I'm using here, virtually 100% of what I'm using, is from my hip kits from May and June. Absolutely love those kits, and I can't say enough about Kimberly and her team over there at the Hip Kit Club, and what they do to create these kits are just so much fun to work with, and you get so much stuff. And I don't always get all of the kits. Of course I always get the main kit, but depending on how much stuff I have to use up, I will get some of the other kits, or sometimes I already have some of the items in some of the add-on kits. So I don't always get all of the add-ons, but I really like to because there's so much great stuff in those kits. So I'm just adding that ink around the edges of all the papers just to create a bit of a border, and just add a little extra pop to that paper, and just going to stick that down. Now I am putting that basically in the center, but I am going to offset the photo layer just so that just to balance it, so that the photo layer is off to the side a little bit, allowing me to have a little bit of space to the right of the photo layer to add some embellishments to the layout, and balancing it in that way. So I'm just taking some of those little pieces of paper that came from some 6x6 pads. So that one there is from the Red Raspberry Soup collection from Jelly Bean Soup, and so that's the teal one, which is really pretty. It's got some little butterflies on it. And then that one, that pink and orange one that I'm layering on top of it, is from the 7 paper collection called Amelia, and it's the once again 6x6. So I'm just going to layer those square on top of each other, but I'm going to offset that picture of Bailey on top of them. So just to give it just a little bit of a little more of an interesting appeal. So you'll see that when I get that stuck down. That's some of the 6x6 Summer Vibes paper from Simple Stories, and it was just a scrap that I had from another layout that I did, and I'm just adding it in as another layer in behind that paper from Fancy Pants. So I actually only sped this up 2 times because I think it only took me a half an hour to create the layout. And the reason why it was a little bit faster was because I had everything all picked out ahead of time. So what I usually do is I'll go through my papers and I'll see if I can find some papers that kind of go with the photograph that I have chosen, and then I'll work from there and then pick the embellishments to go along with that. So you can see that I've layered some of those poolside from crepe paper, those little chipboard frames in behind Bailey's photo. And those frames are actually really, really super thin. They're probably the thinnest chipboard frames I've ever worked with, which is, it's good depending on what you want to use them for, I suppose. But for a photo layer, they're perfect because they are really super thin and you can just layer them up nicely. So I'm just going to take that orangey colored one and I'm going to put it, actually there was a little bit of a gap in that Simple Stories paper there because I had cut out a square out of it for another layout. So I'm just going to cover up that little gap in the paper with that frame, and then I'm going to put another frame just to the left of it just to add another little layer there behind my photo of Miss B. So I'm just sticking those down with a little bit of Scotch adhesive, the quick dry adhesive, and I'm actually going to do a little bit of foam tape with layering the photo layer. So the foam tape that I'm going to be using, I'm actually just going to use Stampin' Up! Dimensionals there on the photo, but the actual papers for the photo layer, I'm going to use some foam tape, and the foam tape that I'm using there is from Simon Says Stampin'. It's that Big Mama roll that you can get, and it actually is really, really nice. It's not as thick as the 3M stuff, which is good and bad, I suppose, depending on what you want to use it for. But if you just want a little bit of a pop, it's perfect. And I'll tell you, that stuff is super, super sticky. So it's a little bit more difficult to get the backing off of it in comparison to the 3M tape, but it comes off. I just use my craft knife and off it comes, and then you can stick it down and it is there to stay once you've got it stuck, that's for sure. So definitely not repositionable. So now I'm just going to stick that photo down, and I have, once again, I said I just popped that up a bit just to add a little more dimension to the layout and pop that photo up a little bit. And I did leave, I left a white border around that photo because I really wanted it to pop up off those darker papers. And I just love that picture of her. It's so hilarious. And it just really speaks to, you know, her character and how much fun she is, that's for sure. So now I'm just going to start to kind of work with some of the embellishments. And this is a little Embellishing wood veneer that we got in one of our kits from the Life is Sweet collection from Embellishing. And I'm going to work with some ephemera pieces up in that left-hand corner just to create a cluster up there. So I'm going to be working with just some bits and pieces from the Citrus Bliss ephemera pack from Pink Paisley. And you're going to see me use some of the Fancy Pants tags that we got in our kit. Love those tags. They're so pretty, and there's such a great selection of tags there that you can use. So this one was already in the shape of a banner, and perfect colors, obviously, for this layout. And so I'm just going to use that as part of the layer for the background for that photo layer. And using that Avery L ink just to add that little bit of extra color to those different bits and pieces. So now these are just some little word stickers or some word labels. Those first two are from Avery L, and I think those are, yeah, they're definitely from the Sienna collection. Not Avery L, sorry, Ellie Studio, and from the Sienna collection. And then I Love This was from a piece of Yippee Chickanitty paper. That was some cut aparts. And I just put that little title in place in the lower portion there earlier, just because I wanted to make sure that it was going to fit down there properly in that lower, I wouldn't even call it a third. It's probably only about a quarter of the layout there in the bottom portion below that pink paper. So I'm just trying to cut a little piece of that foam adhesive to make sure that the end of that wood veneer pops up off the layout, because I've got one end on the photo layer. So if you don't pop up the other end, obviously it's going to lay crooked on there. So I wanted to just pop up that right end of You Are Sweet. And then I'm just going to take that label there, which I think that's still Citrus Bliss Ephemera, that little label. I love how these colors all work together. And that's another thing about the hip kit, is Kimberly is just the master of picking out the different papers from the different collections so that they work together so well. And it's just, I love it. It is fantastic. Thank you, Kimberly, and your team of gurus at the Hip Kit Club. So awesome. So this is another one of those little tags from Fancy Pants. And I'm just going to pull that layer up a little bit there just to stick that in. And I'm just going to create another little cluster up in that area there. So besides the title, I guess I really have the three main clusters: the one up in the top left-hand corner, the one at the top of the right of the photo layer, and then on the side there. So I'm just going to add some more of the ink. So I'm so glad to be back in my craft room. Done work, so awesome. The school year is finished and I'm on a nice big break now. And my family and I were camping for a week, and now I'm back at home. The sad part of it all here where I'm from are the forest fires. We have 10 times the number of normal number of forest fires. And in the northern part of our province, the forest fire wildfire area is 3 times the city of New York. So if you multiply New York by 3, that's how large the wildfire area is here. And the smoke has been so awful. I feel so bad for the people who live in, well, mostly the north has been evacuated. And but even the smoke, because it's really, the fires are only about 3 hours away from us. That smoke has, easily travels down here to where we are. And I just feel so bad for anybody that has any kind of health issues in that. Like, it's been so bad some days that we can't even go outside. So I hope that it rains, and it's just been really awful. So pray for rain. Pray for rain for Saskatchewan. Actually, Saskatchewan, BC, and Alberta have all been really bad. So it's not just us, that's for sure. So I'm just working on sticking down those different layers and the different little bits and pieces, and just working away at getting those all stuck down. So it's kind of nice that the video isn't like sped up 1 million times, because I do have a little bit more time to explain what I'm doing, which is nice. So actually, that last little label that I put on there, I'm going to end up stamping the date that I did the layout on there. So now I've just taken a little break, and I'm going to show you that I added some Heidi Swapp Color Shine. I added some little lawn fawn or freckled fawn, lawn fawn, I can't remember. Those little stars, really pretty gold stars. I've added my journaling, some more of the Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and a little bit of sewing. So that's about it. I want you to stay tuned for the giveaway information. And thank you so much for watching my videos and for subscribing. So appreciated. Have a great day. Bye.